And when did that incident that went viral, which lap was that?
Viral moment.
5.5 laps to go.
Then I was like, wow. Then we were basically like, wow, Rui Yong's redemption arc. Wow, fucking power.
But here's where you can officially, you can like tell the naysayers to fuck off. Like, was it an orchestrated thing
Yeah,
for
that's
you
like-
to redeem yourself?
You can't really orchestrate these things, lah.
As you saw him drop the water, did it occur in your mind, this is going to win people back?
This is my moment.
This
for
is my
virality.
moment, yeah.
Well, I guess when it happens, like people ask me what was going through your mind at the point of time.
Yeah.
Like, nothing much, because at that point of time you're just struggling to finish the race. It's all instinct, like it's all racing instinct.
Yeah.
So I remember, like, he pulled to the side to get water. I said, maybe I should do the same. Then I went over. Then I heard a pump because he didn't time his grab properly. He was probably like a bit like disoriented or so, or like hand-eye coordination just no good at that point of time. Like, when you're dehydrated.
That was how many laps in?
It was like 20. It was our 20th lap.
So
of a
5 laps
25.
ago. Yeah, 5 laps ago.
So I heard the pump, then I grabbed my bottle. I had to avoid the water bottle as well because like the bottle had like fallen onto the ground, right? So you step on it, you can twist your ankle.
Yeah.
So then I siamed the bottle, grabbed the cup, and then I poured some over my head, and instinctively I just accelerated a bit, and then I gave the remainder to him.
So you had to, you didn't pour as much as you would have liked onto yourself.
Yeah,
and
must
you give it to him. Yeah, must ration. And then you can increase some more.
Yeah.
Increase
like I
speed
said,
too.
it was instinctive. And I think that, end of the day, we obviously are fighting for the same medals, but friends first, safety first. I mean,
And you knew him before?
I only met him like the night or the 2 nights before. Agus introduced us. Yeah.
Oh.
And Rikki doesn't speak much English, so people were asking, hey, did he thank you? Did he thank you or not? I mean, first of all, I don't expect a thank you for these things. But secondly, he did. And not after the race. And after the race, you saw he was lying on the ground, like kind of like convulsing. And then I came over and I shook his hand. And people were asking what he was saying. He wasn't talking to me. He was praying to Allah. He was saying his thanks. And then I shook his hand and then I walked away. The next time I saw him, he was like on the ground like that.
Just passed out.
Like he was... He had really taken himself to the max, which is why I said that he really deserves that gold medal. Like, to push the race all the way and then still find something to sprint that last lap. He really took himself to the max, and he really deserves the gold medal for being able to push to that extent. I didn't push to that extent. I was walking around after the race, looking for my parents, looking for Edwin Tong as well, because he was shouting for 25 laps, right?
Yeah.
And then my teammates and everything. So that was great. And eventually I think the result was a fair one. The guy who like put in his A+ effort took the gold, and I think I ran well to get the silver, and the Myanmar boy who did a lot of the early work got the bronze.
But
that
just
was good.
going back to that moment, that viral moment of the bottle. When do you find out that became like a thing? Like it went viral and all that?
So I deleted my social media before the games from my phone. So
really?
because
Okay.
I just wanted to focus completely on racing. And normal days we do spend like a lot of time scrolling through social media, but the hype from the media, the hype from social media gets very pronounced during the games. So I didn't want to deal with all that. Not that I in my first 2 SEA Games I didn't delete, and I was fine. I won gold medals both my first 2 times, but I think that this time the attention on my participation was definitely more. I felt that there was a lot more going on. I actually sent a message to Joseph Schooling before the SEA Games. I was like, thinking of deleting social media for the games. What do you think? He was like, get rid of it, but bring a book to keep yourself like engaged.
Okay.
I brought a book, I didn't read it. I ended up playing board games or whatever with my friends in my free time, which was a lot more fun.
So when was the first time you checked it?
Or when you find out that this thing was
I had
viral?
social media on my iPad, so
Okay.
in my room when I had time, I would scroll a bit but like
But at what point did you have an idea after the race when you can come down like, I think let me open up Facebook and LinkedIn, man.
Ooh, likes.
Yeah, give me the likes. Did you have an idea?
I didn't even like think about that after because after you do your anti-doping, you do your media interviews and you do anti-doping, and then I got my phone, and then the first thing you check is WhatsApp. So on WhatsApp, people were congratulating me for the performance because it was Singapore's first medal in 40 years. I mean, there were multiple things happening in that race. Like, my result was the first medal in 40 years in the 10,000 meters. But it's also a new national record. And on top of that, that incident happened. So I was getting messages on all 3 things.
Wow.
And then someone sent me a link from YouTube where MediaCorp had cropped out that part of
exactly.
and it was getting more plays than the race highlights itself.
Exactly,
which was hilarious. And then obviously because of whatever happened in the past, like with Ashley Liu's act of sportsmanship and me disputing that whether that actually happened or not because there was no like visual proof. People started laughing because of that the irony, right? So that was extremely funny. And then they were like, you see now this one got proof, huh? So that was the funny part, lah.
It's like you had to run 10,000 meters and punish yourself just to have that one moment where you had the water bottle.
And then when the media corp did that, so all power to them. I mean, like obviously they're doing it for the clicks as well, lah. Then that was something that took off, and then I was like, okay, I think this might actually, like, my friends in the UK were talking about it, and they were like, okay, just remember we were your friends before you went viral. Like I didn't really expect much, but you really went viral in Indonesia. Like, so then I downloaded my Instagram after that race, and I had like 20,000 new followers from Indonesia.
Wow,
which has since doubled. And so now my Instagram is like 70% Indonesian followers.
And it's not from winning getting second in the race. Like, it was from that video of that.
It was definitely that lah, because I mean, there are so many silver medalists in every event. But the irony is that I thought about this. I think that if I had won, I wouldn't have. It wouldn't have made the rounds that much in Indonesia, because why it made the rounds in Indonesia was that their guy won. And this happened. So they saw it as like helping him achieve a good result. And he won in Indonesia. And Indonesian, their fans are so fervent over sports, right? You saw when he won the SEA Games gold medal. Roads are closed back home. It's like they won the World Cup. So, and they were my inbox was being flooded by messages of support, not just from Singaporeans, but mostly Indonesians. So that's when I saw that, wow, they're really super supportive of sports, and anyone who like is positively associated with Indonesian sports, they really throw their support behind you. So,
are you going to Indonesia soon? You should just walk around with an iPad, just playing a GIF of that on loop. Everywhere you walk, with a medal, just a GIF on loop. Just a GIF on loop.
Well, I think I'm going to Indonesia soon to promote a running event. Not confirmed yet, but because of what happened, I might be in Jakarta very soon to promote running.
That is awesome.
Stay tuned.
So are you going to make it part of the Pokari 2.4 kilometer run? Like, you must take water and you must give it to the person in front of you.
You must finish one bottle of Pokari set after every lap, is it? Like a beer amount.
You have to give it to the person in front of you. You cannot drink your own cup.
You must sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship.
Actually, now that I think about it, that was quite a good relay passing.
Actually, that could be a relay race where you must hand a cup of water to somebody else and run.
Then cannot spill.
Cannot spill. Maybe if he ran fast, that would have helped you, like keep up with him all the way, just to pass him the cup, that's fucking hilarious, man.
So I mean, all in all, I think what was important was that I felt that and it was nice because it happened on the same day as our esports argument with Indonesia as well.
So there's the wrist last.
So there was a journalist who messaged me, hey, thank God you did this, man. Like, you stopped World War III from happening. we had this like big argument with Indonesia in the esports. I wasn't even following esports then because I was not on social media, right? So then I looked into that. I was like, well, that was quite ugly. So and there were people making comparisons, like one or two comments from Indonesians. Mostly were very positive and not controversial, but one or two they're like, "You good man, not like Singapore esports. Don't know what cheating da 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 da." But I mean, like, I don't really know what happened, so I'm not gonna comment too much on that.
So no wonder you posted recently in Bahasa Indonesia, right?
So I mean, after that I was like, wow. I mean, if my followers are now like 70% Indonesian, better start learning to type in Bahasa lah.
Singapore Tourism Board needs to listen to this
and Indonesian Tourism Board.
And then like for Soh Rui Yong to invite Indonesians to come and visit Singapore.
That's right.
I think good bilateral. I mean, sports is a great way to build bilateral relations and diplomacy, and I think that this was a great example of that. Like, beyond the medals, I think this was one of the big stories of the SEA Games, and
it was,
and it made the rounds in Indonesia, Thailand, where my girlfriend stays. Like, her family watched the race, and this made the rounds in Thailand as well. Like, this little act of sportsmanship. It made the rounds in Vietnam as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So like now the athletes, now when Taiwan opened, like there were athletes from other countries who recognized me. Oh, you're the water cup boy.
Water cup.
You're the guy who gave water. Like, yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, even in Taiwan, when I was racing in Taiwan, the commentary was in Chinese. So thank God I can understand Chinese. I practice a lot because my girlfriend speaks Chinese now. So like if it was a year or two ago, it may have been different. But the commentary in Chinese, they were talking about what happened at the SEA Games. Well, 这位是苏瑞勇，他在东南亚运动会有这件事情发生。So they were talking about how I exhibited like sportsmanship in that race, and it was very cool to see like one opponent helping another, and they really like, you know, in Chinese they really like talking about, you know, like values and these things. So they were saying about how it was an incredible display of an exhibition of what's really important in our world. So I thought that was pretty cool.
So but going back to that moment, why was it important for you to give him the water?
Like I said, nothing went through my head apart from
if you unpack now.
If I unpack the best, and I can even see myself saying something on camera, right, to him. I cannot remember for the life of me, and I watched the clip. I can't make out what I'm saying to him, but I was trying to grab his attention to grab the water. I think hot day. So when you're going through that kind of brutal weather, safety first, you know.
Yeah.
So you were at that pain threshold where like you couldn't even really remember what you were saying, and
I mean, you saw my lap half a lap later when I passed the finish line. 5 laps to go, my face was like that.
Wow.
Yeah, like kind of shaking side to side.
So it was primal instinct, lah. Primal instinct.
Yeah, I would say so. But I think different athletes react differently in those scenarios. Like some athletes, the instinct is, he saw your opponent miss the cup, time to go. Like, you know, like, because you can inflict a double blow. Like he's probably annoyed that he missed the water, and then now you accelerate. He's like, oh fuck, you know, I need to deal with this. You can break people doing that.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I wouldn't fault someone for doing that, because end of the day, some people prioritize winning over other things, right? And that's fine. That's your personal set of values. Like there's no rule that you have to help your opponent, right? And who knows, maybe with someone that I really didn't like, I may not have done the same thing. I would, yeah. So I mean, it just depends on the context of the situation. But I mean, I'm glad that, you know, it was positively well received. People seem to have a good impression of that. But like I said, it's probably not something that I can tell you what exactly happened in that point of time, because so many things were happening in that point of time.
We test next time in front of Rui Yong, just pretend to take water and drop it.
Drop.
Yeah, see whether. Yeah, see whether.
51st or what.